Ready as I'm gonna be. Anyway, hi everybody.
Hello everybody.
So today is Friday, and what are we going to talk about today on our Friday favorites?
The Chassahowitzka River.
Say that again?
Chassahowitzka.
Okay, so it's very hard to pronounce, and this is almost in central northern Florida. The locals just call it the Chaz. Okay? But it's the Chassahowitzka River, and it is a wonderful, amazing place. There is things to do for the full week. Fun, family friendly. It's a perfect place to go. It's about, an hour and a half?
Hour and a half.
Out of St. Petersburg.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not too far from the major cities if you wanted to spend a day going to see the Dali Museum, and we'll tell you about that another day. But there's a lot to do in St. Petersburg. But if you find yourself in Crystal River area, that's where the Chassahowitzka River is. So what are we're going to talk about that today, right?
Yeah.
As our Friday favorites, because it was, if I recall, one of my favorite places that we've been along our travels.
For sure. And yeah, I even got in the water.
So
it was cool.
We'll start with the campground. What we found is it was, for a state park, it's a little more pricey. By a little more, it's pretty up there for a state park. And it's, if I remember correct, it was like $55 a night for an RV.
For full hookups.
Full hookups. Water, sewer, trash, electric, cable, like everything. And Wi-Fi. They have Wi-Fi. It's actually pretty decent Wi-Fi. It's not too bad. If you find yourself where you're in a van or with a family and you're in that area, tent camping is $26 a night. But it's worth it. Because it is a quarter-mile walk from the state campground park to the river. Should we talk about the river?
Definitely.
Okay, should we talk? Okay, first we're going to enter, when you get to the river, it's a state park run area. And so if you don't have your own kayak or your own boat or any of that, you can rent one. I remember asking, the kayaks were $20 for, I think, the day rental. And I don't know anything about the boat prices. Here's one thing good. They'll charge you $10 to park in their parking lot. But the campground is just a short walk away. And they have a boat launch and a parking area where you can unload your kayaks, your canoes, your paddle boards. Everything can go up and down this river. They'll give you a map and they'll direct you. So some of the fun things we found, and this is what makes it our favorite about being on this river, is they have underwater natural springs that turn into this. So you start off in this river, and it's murky and it's kind of weird looking. You're like, oh, I don't know about this. And then you look down, and there's manatees everywhere.
They were everywhere.
Everywhere. Big ones, little ones. They'll come right up to the boat a little bit and kind of hang out. And you can't swim in that area. Okay. We're going to go on to where there's a cool place to hang out. If you go right and you go into the river a little bit, you find what they call Three Sisters Caves. And they're underwater sea caves, basically. Natural spring water is coming up, and so during low tide, you can actually see the entrances to them. And you put on some snorkeling masks, and you just go. I wouldn't, if you're not a strong swimmer, I wouldn't try to traverse them and swim underneath the water because it's very difficult. And they have reported that people have gotten lost in there and have drowned. But you can see little entrances, and it's fun. There's little fish.
And there was one that was pretty easy to go through, right?
Right, it was huge.
A straight shot, big hole for you to get into, and then just straight through.
It must have been, what, like an 8-foot round pool?
Easily.
Below the river. So you have the river, but then there's an 8-foot pool of natural spring water. And then if you just swim down into it, you can look, and there's at least a 4-foot hole. And it's only maybe a 5-foot swim to the next breathable area. But if you play around and look and see, you can find all sorts of little caves. And they're fun. Okay. So there's one. There's more. So if you're on your kayak and you rent it, and then you start going upstream, you'll see tons of vultures. They're everywhere. It's crazy. It's so many birds everywhere. It's crazy. So if you're a bird watcher, a bird enthusiast, there's eagles and vultures, and there's just falcons, hawks, whatever you name it. They're all over there. You go up the river further, and they say be wary of alligators. We didn't see any.
Single one.
And I looked, right? Because I like to find gators because they're entertaining.
This one's called the Crack. Check it out.
And you get to go on this cool kayak path. You'll see it. You'll get a map when you go there. So if you go there, you'll get a map. And it takes you to another underwater spring. And they have a swing.
That one they called the Crack.
The Crack, yeah. It's just this random weird spot. There's a crack in the ground where underwater is flowing up and it's blue water and there's more fish.
It was beautiful. It looked like it was from, it should be in a movie.
Like the Blue Lagoon or something. It was crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we spent one day exploring all of that. Then our next day we're like, gung ho, let's go. We're going all the way up the river now. And we ran into a river otter. Dude, there's marshes and just there's different directions to go. You can explore this thing for days. There is a downfall. There are boats. A lot of boats. So if you know how to use your kayak, your paddleboard, just stay to the right. Or stay to the left. Stay to the side. You can hear the boats coming. The motors are pretty loud. And they'll go slower by you for the most part. Some of them kind of cruise by you, but just get out of the way. So much exploring to do. So much fun. What do you think? Was that fun?
That was loads of fun.
We were there, what, a week?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we spent a full week there.
Maybe it was 2.
Oh, we were there a pretty good amount of time, huh?
Yeah. I can't remember now.
I just know the first day when we were trying to go and check in, it was late. There is no late check-in. There's no information anywhere. You kind of have to figure it out. But as soon as we pulled up to go walking around, looking around, a raccoon scurries off, and there's people out there net fishing, trying to get their bait for the next day.
Yeah. Just a really cool place.
This is one of a kind places that you get to go experience.
And then lots of things to do nearby. There's you can swim with the manatees.
That's in Crystal River,
right? Which we won't go into full detail on that. And then what was the other one we went to? The Weeki-Wachee?
Oh, the Weeki-Wachee River. Yeah.
That's a
whole different ball game. But somebody will tell you about that when you get up there, and that's. You're pretty much kayaking on this crystal clear river, and there's more manatees, and part of the Weeki-Wachee, which you'll want to go find if you're over there. We didn't get to find it because that was high tide, but they have an underwater cave, but it goes straight down where people go and scuba dive, and they want to see how far they can go. I guess it goes like 150 feet. It goes super far down, and I was trying to find it so I could put my snorkel gear on and see how far down I could make it, but
high tide, we couldn't find it.
The high tide, but you got the Weeki-Wachee River. You've got Crystal River, where you can go swim with manatees. You have to book a trip.
Yeah.
You need a guide because you cannot mess with the Florida manatees. You absolutely cannot, right?
No touchy.
No touchy. No touchy. So we got Weeki-Wachee River, Crystal River, Chassahowitzka River, all in a 20-minute vicinity of each other, all over. And then if you're daring and you're out in that area and you want to go to the ocean, you drive an hour. In 10 minutes, I think it was like 70 miles to St. Petersburg, and you have the island beach life, which is really cool too. Yeah. So, I hope, was this informative, you think?
I think it was.
I think it was. This is definitely one of our Friday favorites.
For sure.
Up there. Like, we've been a lot of places, and remember, Chassahowitzka River.
AKA the Chaz.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.